What is up? Fourth Serif here. Gonna make a quick video today, mostly because my upstairs neighbor will not stop vacuuming. They keep starting and stopping and have been doing this for a really long time. But just wanted to talk about SunPower. It is delisting, being taken off the NASDAQ. I didn't think this would happen this soon, but it's not that surprising because they were already out of compliance. That paired with the bankruptcy, NASDAQ pretty much doesn't want anything to do with them. Thank you. We're just going to work through this because I don't care about the production quality that much. I'm just going to rant about SunPower, whether my neighbor vacuums or not. Hopefully it's not super loud for you. If it is, I apologize. I guess watch this video like 200 times so I make a lot of money and buy a new house. I don't know. Share it. If you bought it or something, throw $5 that way. And let's just get into it. I'm just going to read this announcement. So SunPower Corp, a leading residential solar technology and energy services provider, today announced that the company received a notice from the NASDAQ Stock Market, LLC, that it has determined to delist the company's common stock on NASDAQ. The delisting is a result of the company's failure to demonstrate compliance with NASDAQ listing rule 5101, 5110B, and IM 5101-1 as a result of the company and certain of its direct and indirect subsidiaries filing for voluntary petitions for relief under Chapter 11 of Title 11 of the United States Bankruptcy Code in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Delaware. And it's listing NASDAQ listing rule 5250C1 for failure to file periodic financial reports. Trading in the company's common stock on NASDAQ will suspend on August 16th. So there's the important part, August 16th. That is tomorrow. They did not give us a huge warning. A lot of people have been coming and asking, should I hold my stock? Should I do whatever? And for the most part, I've been saying like, well, it's not really worth anything. At least mine wasn't. Might as well hold, might sell, might as well do whatever. Like, if you have a lot of money, pull it out, put it in something else. If you have 5 shares, hold on to it, whatever. I guess this increases the risk because it'll only trade on pink sheets from now on, even if something happens. Like, they'd have to reapply to get back on the NASDAQ. And, even if someone swooped in and saved the company, that would still potentially be a very long process. Depends how much you like gambling. If you're someone who puts it on green on the roulette table, probably keep holding this stock. If you're not, I would suggest probably selling and putting it in something else. But I did want to make one other correction too. In my video on SunPower's fraud, I referenced a different financial transaction that had taken place. That was $500 million. So I just wanted to correct that. With this one here, it was actually $50 million. I was referencing them, a company, KKR, had bought a bunch of loans from them. That wasn't what happened earlier this year. In June, what happened was they took out another $50 million draw on previously announced second lien term loan to further business operations as company. So they got an $175 million line of credit, basically, and in June, they took out $50 million. So my point kind of still stands because it was about a month from that happening to them basically going like, yeah, we're shutting our doors. So in a month, they want us to believe that they spent $50 million in business operations, which didn't happen. So again, my point of, I don't think they ever took out this money. I don't think it was actually available to them. I think they just said this to get the stock to go up. That's when all of their executives sold and liquidated their shares and then announced that actually we're not in compliance, we're getting fired by our accountants, and we're going to declare bankruptcy. You don't take out $50 million and spend that in a month. I mean, I know running tech companies can be expensive, but they're not spending $50 million a month. I mean, that means that they'd have to be making, just to turn a single profit, they would have to be making like $650 million in revenue every year at a minimum. They're not doing anywhere near that. So yeah, they are lying still, but I did want to make that correction because I had referenced the wrong article in that video. And the reason is because I don't do that much research. I kind of just sit down and rant in these videos. But, you know, if you like that, make sure to subscribe. I feel like I still say some good things, but, you know, I feel like sometimes people get too in the weeds on stuff, you know? They get too, like, people be looking at charts and being like, oh, this is doing the, you know, cup and balls pattern, and so it's actually going to hit a resistance level. And every time I see one of those on Twitter, those people are wrong. I've never seen anyone be like, it's doing this pattern, it's going to hit this resistance and then go here, and then they're right. It's always wrong. And that's because it's astrology for men. It's pretty much just a weird, like, I'm not cool enough to have a real religion, but I want some weird fake spirituality, so I'm going to read a book on patterns and then try and sell you a course to get you to believe in my pseudoscience as well. For those of us who live in the real world, you know, it's those don't make any sense. But that's how I feel about looking at charts too much. It's like, you know, is it a good company or not? And, you know, step 2 would probably be, does this company have a history of fraud? Because turns out that if they, even if they fire their CEO and CFO, they're going to keep doing fraudulent stuff, you know, so that's always good. It's cool that the SEC let them get away with that. That's going to be my next video, actually. I want to go through the SEC because I am very worried about the future of the United States economy. I think SunPower, even though it's a relatively small company, has been the warning sign for all of us that if things do not change drastically, we are headed for a worse than 2008, worse than 1929 type of financial disaster. So make sure to subscribe so that you will see that video when it comes out. It'll be a bit of a longer one. Just wanted to do a quick short video for this one. Appreciate you guys watching, commenting. Love to engage with you guys in the comments. That's actually my favorite part of making the videos, is getting to just connect with people and talk about stuff. So make sure to leave a comment if you haven't already. But until next time, I'll see you guys online.